The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Another amazing day in Africa. This time around, Africa is rising. The youth are rising. There is so much reaction across the continent because something big has happened. For decades, they always use the African to change or to overdo or remove the leaders that they do not want, because we believe so much in our people and we have the mentality that whenever it is coming from our own kind, it is nothing but the truth, because we believe that our kind will never lie to us. But we have reason to understand that this is a game and a tactics people are using to defeat the African. So today we are saying no to this script. There was a journalist from South Sudan who had a chance to be in the presence of our all in all, the Savior, the Protector, the Unifier, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the most loved, Captain Ibrahim Traore, to interview him. And during the interview, instead of her to ask some questions, I was expecting her to understand the situation in Africa better than any other person, because Sudan is on hellfire. Thanks to Iran, Sudan is knowing peace for the first time. But this old lady rather came with a script that was written to her by the colonizer. After the questions, she talked about the situation in Burkina Faso, and Captain Ibrahim Traore said she had a chance to go around to patrol the nation and see. And this lady never had any beautiful thing in Burkina Faso to talk about, rather than to go to a slum or somewhere she claimed is a slum area and took pictures of this. From there, she didn't stop. According to reports, she even came online targeting her all in all. And in the comment section, the youth of Africa gave it to her properly. Your country, Sudan, is in big trouble. Instead of you to use the power, the energy to educate your people and to speak for the freedom of Sudan, you rather left Sudan, came to West Africa, Burkina Faso, where our freedom fighters are, who are trying to liberate us. That was where you went to cause us pain. You never had anything good with the roads, with all the beautiful things that are in Burkina Faso. You didn't get anything to report about. You think Burkina Faso is like Sudan, right? Look at what is happening in Sudan. Can you compare Sudan to Burkina Faso? The only thing you were interested in is the slums and the negativity of Africa. But before you talk about negativity in any part of Africa, make sure you first of all concentrate in the things that are happening in Sudan.
You'll never guess where I am. I'm in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, a West African country that's been known historically for its arts, culture, revolutionary thought, but now is being propelled into public consciousness because of its charismatic young leader, Ibrahim Traore. Now, Ibrahim Traore did not come into power through an election. He came in through a military coup and has since then declared a revolution that turns the country away from the West as he builds close relations with Russia, China, Turkey, and countries that he says can supply him with weapons to fight the jihadist insurgency. Now, Burkina Faso is also grappling with the fact that it is now one of, if not the most deadliest place for terrorism in the world. But what we found here is that people are not able to express their concern for their safety as the government, Traore's administration, continues to deny the gravity of the jihadist insurgency here. We got the very rare opportunity to speak to Captain Ibrahim Traore himself, the only English-speaking outlet to ever interview him. And what we have found is that he is holding the line to deny the scale of the jihadist insurgency here and is saying that Burkina Faso comes first for any other geopolitical relations. There's all this talk about an anti-imperialist revolution here, but people have told us again and again off camera that they can't risk their lives straying from the popular narrative. We've learned about abductions of opposition members, activists, and journalists have been sent to the front line to fight jihadists when they have reported unfavorably. Human Rights Watch has also put out a report accusing the government of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity in their fight against jihadists, especially in the north of the country. But we got the rare opportunity to sit down with Captain Ibrahim Traore himself and ask him about what is happening in his country.
Hello all, my name is Maimuna Kamara called Lagip. I'm a Pan-African and today I will stand here and respond to the claim made by the journalist Yusra Abashi about Burkina Faso after she interviewed the president about the human rights also situation. And I will start with this. It is easy to throw accusation from a distance. It is easy also to judge a country you're not defending, not governing, not surviving in. But it's much, I guess, harder for you to face reality, right? Burkina Faso today is not a debate topic. It is a country under attack, not a theory, not a headline, but a battlefield. And before we speak about human rights, let's stop for a second pretending context does not matter, okay? Can we seriously talk about rights while ignoring terrorism? Can we talk about justice while ignoring mass violences? Can we talk about perfection from a country fighting to survive? Because here the deal is the truth many people refuse to accept. No security, no freedom. No stability, no justice. No life, no right. Today, Burkina Faso is facing armed extremist group that attack civilians, burning children, recruiting children, and force the entire community to flee. This is not political debate. This is a daily survival, my dear. And in that reality, the first responsibility of any state is not perfection. I'm sorry. It is protection. Protecting the life first and the rest comes after. Because without life, your human right argument means nothing. And without safety, your democracy discussion are completely empty. And without security, guess what? Everything collapses. This is the reality on the ground, whether people like it or not. And guess what? We do not care. Let's talk about consistency now. When the United States faced 9/11, it launched war, expanded surveillances, and tightened security law. It was called what? I remember. It was called defense. When the French faced terror threats, it declared the emergency law and increased the state power also. What was it called? I remember that it was called what? Protection. But when Burkina Faso fights daily attack with far fewer resources, suddenly what? It becomes what? A human rights scandal. That is not justice. That is not analysis. This is being hypocrite and it needs to stop. The same word, the different standards. Powerful countries are what? Understood. Weaker countries are what? Contained. And that is the reality of the bullshit that we are living right now. Let us know what is the pressure for those. For those killing civilian without a trial. Destroy the entire villages. Recruit children onto what? Armed group. And they're forcing family into what? Displacement. Guess what? Silence. Because it's easier, what, again, to criticize a struggling state than what? To confront the violent network. But let's be clear. If you ignore one side of violence, you are not defending human rights, my dear. You are what? Selecting which victim matters. And that is not justice. This is called bullshit again. Yes, challenges exist. No one denies that. But pretending that Burkina Faso is operating under normal conditions is being dishonest. A country under a siege cannot behave like a country at peace. Don't you know that? And let's be blunt. You cannot expect protection from a government trying to what? To prevent collapses. Mistakes in crisis are not the same as intentional oppression. But critics what? Often refuse to what? To make that distinction. Why? Because again, context weakens what? Easy narratives. Despite everything. Let me tell you something. Burkina is still standing, still resisting extremist violences. Still trying to protect what? Civilian. Still holding together under extreme pressure. That is not failure. This is hindrances. Not perfection, but survival. Not a villain state, but a frontline state. Not a simple story, but a brutal reality. So let's be honest, Miss Journalist. Are we here for truth or selective outrage? Are we analyzing reality or repeating convenient narrative? Because criticism without context is not truth. Don't you know that? It is called distortion. with confidence. And I would not end. You cannot defend human rights by ignoring war. I'm sorry, you cannot defend justice. Why craving, terrorists? You cannot judge a country in survival mode by the standards of peace. Because at the end of everything, no life, no rights, no security, no freedom. And guess what? Either you like it or not, and we do not care. Because what? Burkina Faso is fighting every single day to protect both, whether critics accept it or not. Burkina is still going further. And we always, and I'm talking about me, I'm always going to give my support to the people of Burkina Faso. And I'm always going to have their back. Thank you.
You won't believe what this Sky News presenter did. This black Sky News presenter went to Burkina Faso and interviewed the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. And you won't believe that during this interview, she was cooperating and she was told everything about Burkina Faso, only to release a misinformation video on YouTube and on their TikTok about the president of Burkina Faso and Burkina Faso. According to her, she interviewed so many people in Burkina Faso, the so-called experts, and she's saying the government of Burkina Faso is a failed government. In fact, she said that 60% of Burkina Faso is under the terrorists. And everything that is being said that the president of Burkina Faso is doing is a complete lie. When the Africans saw that this black woman has been sent to Burkina Faso to go and interview the president of Burkina Faso, they were very much optimistic that for once a Western media has gone into Burkina Faso and is now interviewing the president of Burkina Faso to show the world what Ibrahim Traore is doing to the people of Burkina Faso. But lo and behold, she is receiving one of the biggest backlash because of misinformation. You won't believe that these people are using Africans to ensure that other Africans have fallen down. Just the other day, they were using General Langley, who is a black American, and now they're using this black American to ensure that the Africans are responsible for their own downfalls and they cannot support their own, even though they're trying to make a big change in their country.
Well. I'm not surprised anymore. Of course, they use Obama to unalive Gaddafi. So this is a black woman right here, y'all. A traitor right here. The traitor, always a traitor. No matter what, they're always going to be a traitor. Of course, they've given her money to stay in the hotel. Some few dollars to stay in the hotel. Carry yourself, go and interview Ibrahim Traore, go and insult him, go and do propaganda with him, go and video his country. Oh my God! Black woman, shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! You are a disgrace! You are a disgrace! Shame on you. Look at you. Look at you. Is there anywhere there's no poverty? But poverty here now.
Have you seen this documentary made by this journalist from Sky News about Burkina Faso that she called Inside Burkina Faso? The same journalist that President Ibrahim Traore granted an interview. From the questions she was asking during that interview, I had that feeling that something wasn't right. I just finished watching the documentary and I'm like, girl, no. Is that what you want to show the world, Burkina Faso? Are you being real? I hope you will take the time to read the comment, to go through the comment, that you will understand that President Ibrahim Traore is the people president.
If I were you, I would have championed my energy towards speaking for my people. But these people, they are all on the payroll of these people. So, they will always speak the betterment of what the oppressor demands of them. If Sudan was a very calm place, will you be running away? Your homeland is on fire. Your people can smile for the first time because the people that are doing the supply chain to Sudan are on fire. Yet you haven't been vocal, showing the world the things that they are doing to the people in Sudan. We are rather the ones in West Africa doing the bid for you. Because we believe that we are all one people. But we never knew that you are a serpent. And now, those of you journalists, the so-called journalists, who are doing the bid of the oppressor, you should know that this is no longer the African youth you used to know. We have emancipated ourselves and we believe that there is nobody that can change the continent for us. There is nobody that can change the continent for us. You have been the problem of Africa. You are the only ones in Africa who are not ready to change because you still, like Captain Ibrahim Traore said, people carry their stomach. You carry your stomach instead of carrying your continent at heart. Because of your belly, you go to any point, any length to destroy your own continent. Because we think shallow, that is the reason to which we believe that what we are receiving today is enough for you. So for that matter, you wouldn't fight to protect the resources that we have here. If you, the journalists, were thinking about tomorrow, like Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, Abdurrahmane Tchiani are two generals, you will know that there is nothing that is much bigger than fighting for your gold, your diamond, your oil, like everything that we have here. Look at what is going on in Sudan. So you believe that your leader in Sudan is doing something better for you? We are just covering things up for you people. We know how your leaders are rescuing people in Sudan. Sudan, your story is all over the world. The genocide, even the claim is more than what is happening in Gaza. Yet you can't use the strength to voice out the things that are affecting your people. But a country that has been able to fight against people who are making sure that the African do not rise up, changing the narrative, building their country. You haven't seen anything. Why will you see that? Because you have never known what they call peace. So when you even see peace, you don't know it. What is wrong with us? Sometimes we think that because they are even women, they will even understand things better. But you just see us very decorated. The moment we open our mouth to talk, you get to know the kind of beauty that we hold. And I am glad the way we are giving it to her. At least in your next generation. Whenever it comes to West African issues, don't bring your matter here, especially when it's affecting Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. We are not ready to continue to be slaves. If this is what you are yearning for, you can fight for that in Sudan and not to tarnish the image of the people that are fighting for what they call liberation. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's colonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, in Sudan.